I think we have a lot of people here tonight who were made and stayed in Topanga. So when I get the list, I'm going to call each person's name. Maybe you could get up, introduce yourself, say maybe where you were living when you first came to Topanga or first were born here, and then where you're living now. And if you'd like to share a short anecdote, you can, but we got a lot of people, so we got to limit a little bit.
Hey, y'all. Andrew Sheldon here, born 1964, right across the road, North Topanga Canyon Boulevard. I have lived here most of my life. I've come and gone a couple of times, but am remaining here. I live on Lower Hillside, on the west side there, and I just love Topanga more than anything. I'm so blessed to be able to still be here. I was raised by wonderful parents here who brought me to all kinds of events. My story I was just jotting down on the card was about the grape stomp parties that the Birdstalls had up on Skyline Drive back in the mid-'70s. And as a child, I was horrified by the sight of these gargantuan hippies with long black hair and beards covered in grape juice and flecks of grape skin all over them. But there were many friends around and much comfort with so many loving people in this community, and it remains that way. I'm so happy to see so many of you that I've known for most of my life here. Love you all.
Say who your parents are.
Oh, by the way, my parents are Rabin Blake, well-known artist and activist. She raised me as a single mom, and then a remarried mom to Dr. Eli Surkars, who is my stepfather. And my dad is James Sheldon. He went to school here in the 1930s and 40s at the Barton School that now is Eden Ranch. Most of you probably know where that is.
Thank you, Andrew. Shannon, Cohen, Thomas, are you here? Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Where in the canyon did you start?
I grew up in Cheney and live in the same house on Cheney that my family moved into in 1968.
Wow, do you have any childhood friends still here?
Oh, yes. I have a lot. Michael Cheney and I grew up as pretty much siblings, my brother from another mother. I'm the only one left. My siblings and my mom and dad now live in Northern California. Just me left.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We've got Matt Doolin.
Right. Well, it does feel like I was born here, but actually I'm an immigrant. I snuck in when I was about 5 years old, came in late '68, and with my parents arriving from Australia. And so I can't claim birth here, sadly. I'm not sure how I got on the list. But I have been here a very long time, and I see a lot of faces that I know and a lot of people I love, so... Oh, one thing that our parents, my brother and I's parents, my brother Paul's here, and so we do Topanga art tile, and we've kind of embedded ourselves in the community through the tile business and doing those kind of things. But my father was also an artist who painted some really incredible 1970s paintings of Topanga Canyon.
Bring your brother up.
Anyhow, it's amazing to see you all.
Hello. Yes, I have the T-shirt, Topanga Art Tile, and so I was here when I arrived when I was 3, and just really enjoyed it. My parents, as Matt said, were really cool. My dad was a great painter. My mom was an amazing artist in many ways. And just really happy to be here. Great place. Yeah.
Charlie Converse signed in, but I didn't see him here tonight. Is there? Charlie, come up here. Good to see you, Charlie.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Converse, born September 18th, 1991, 1237 Old Topanga, in a bathtub, by my mother, Janie Schumann, and my father, Cortland Converse, the late Cortland Converse, rest in peace. What else? I haven't left Topanga for longer than 6 months, I think. I spent 6 months away in kindergarten or something like that. But besides that, I've been here my whole life. I take after my mom's, rattlesnake relocation lineage, which reluctantly, but I still do that. And so a lot of these are familiar faces. Also, Topanga Pool and Spa, which I inherited from Shawn Rhodes, previously managed by Kiefer. I don't know Kiefer's last name, but Kiefer Lannard. Oh, Flannard, sorry, I can't hear. Anyways, rest in peace, Kiefer. That's about it for me. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. Thank you all.
Thank you. Matt Harris.
Yes, Matt.
Hey, everybody. My name is Matthew Harris. I was born here in Topanga in 1979, up on the hillside. My parents are Robert and Rosalind Harris. Pretty much all the credit should go to them for this award, or this achievement. They unfortunately passed away recently, so in their memory. Currently live up on Wayview, which was the house I grew up in since I was 4, and work in the family business that my dad started the same year I was born. And it's great to be here with everybody. Great community. Thank you so much.
His parents, Bob and Roz, were really very fundamental people in the community, and we all loved them very much. Caiti? Yeah? Come on. Just... If you want to say
Sure, hi.
where you live.
Hi, I'm Caiti Hawkins.
Dad?
My dad is Jim Hawkins. My mom is Lamar Hawkins, a.k.a. Laura Parker. Also passed a couple years ago. We miss her very much. I did 12 nutcrackers on this stage, starting when I was like 3 years old. And my dad was doing the snow, and like everyone was involved, and I'm gonna get really teared up because I did not expect to talk, but cool. Yeah, I love Topanga. I'll be 40 this year, and I'm excited to continue to be living here and like know all of these amazing people. Thanks.
Thank you, Katie. Doug Hanson, do you want to come up here? And after Doug, it's going to be Karen. So get ready, Karen.
Hello. So I was born here in '64. Thank you, sir. Next.
Get close.
Okay. my grandparents came here after the war and were caretakers on Richard Dick's ranch up on Saddle Peak. And my mom grew up here, their only child. My father grew up here on observation, him and his family. Creative named Doug Hanson also. My wife and I, Elaine, purchased a house from my grandmother in '88, and so we're in the same house I grew up in and my mom grew up in. And when our grandkids visit us now, they're fifth generation in the house, and it's 100 years old this year, and that's just kind of cool in itself to me. No other place could I call home. People used to say, how do you drive up that canyon every day? And I never understood that, because it's just the solitude of getting here and relaxing and calming down and getting to this wonderful place. And it will always be home no matter where I am. And now I'm part of the Historical Society and enjoy being a little more ingrained in the community that way. But that's about it. Just feels like I've been here forever. And a lot of familiar faces. So.
After Karen, do you want to say a few words about Joanna Gunst? Okay.
Hello, I'm Karen Moran. I will be forever Cy and Vera's third daughter. I was the third daughter of Cy and Vera Wood. They bought land up here at the top of Red Rock in 1947. My mother refused to live up there. There was nothing up there. And so my father then found acreage at the opening of Hondo Canyon at 649 Old Topanga Canyon Road. And there's two stone cottages right next to each other. So I was born in 1949 and moved into the cottage that didn't have a roof on it. For the first 3 years we lived there. And thanks to Bill Sloan, we got a roof. I grew up there and then got married for a brief moment of time, and then brought my daughters back and raised them there in Hondo Canyon. The Kings live at the back of the canyon. And then when my daughters were blooming into teenagehood, it got a little rough around there. So we moved up the street about a half a mile. And I've lived in that house since 1978. And I met my husband, current husband, 2 years later. We've been together 45 years or whatever. We're at 1208 Old Topanga Canyon Road, and we plan on living our lives out here in Topanga, and as my parents were fortunate enough to do on their property. If you've lived here a long time, there's nowhere else you want to be. My parents, I have to thank my parents. They were kind and generous, and very much a part of the artist community. Growing up here, we were contemporaries of the Gears and the DeWitts and the Raymonds and the Stehelins, and there were a couple other I can't remember at the moment. But we were always running around. There were about 10 kids would get together, and they'd throw us all in the back of one truck and dump us off at one house or the other, and then we'd play out in the woods all day, no supervision, and then come in before dark. And this was just the greatest place in the world to grow up. I have written about it in a book called Forever Tourmaline. I published that last year. It was very important to me to talk about this place at the time I grew up here. And as I look out, I don't know a lot of you out there now. I used to look out and see it and know everybody. But I'm sure you're as wonderful as all those people I did know and have known in my life. And I always know that whenever there's trouble or I'm in need of some assistance, I can pick up my telephone and call somebody. There's somebody out there for me to come and help. And I really appreciate this community, and thank you all for coming out tonight and for being here and hanging in here. It still is a wonderful life here, and I feel so blessed that Topanga did not burn in the fire. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Lexi is going to be after Scott.
Joanna Gunst was my friend and neighbor, and she can't be here tonight, but she did write some stuff, and I told her I would read it. I will try to get through it reasonably quickly. Late 1950s, Ole and Karna Gunst, who were Danish immigrants, made the life-changing decision to move to Observation Drive. Brought their young family to Topanga, feeling it was a place where nature's beauty flourished and the bonds of community were strong. Daughters Suzanne, then 5, and Joanna, only 2 years old, they quickly became part of the fabric of Topanga life. The Gunst family grew, they added some more daughters, and participated in many events, including the Canyon Capers Strawberry Festival and Topanga Days. Ole helped build the stage at the community house, this one here, and got the well for the ball field working. The canyon was considered a safe place, and the kids were all told to go out and play, just be home before dark, without too much worry. Hiking around, exploring the canyon kept all the kids healthy and in shape. Days filled with hikes and exploring with her best friend Jenny Yankee, now Caulfield, and sometimes on horses and sometimes walking. Growing up in the 60s and 70s included a bit of experimentation, she says. You can interpret that how you like. But they always felt safe here, and it was always a great learning experience. Her father, Ole, had a machine shop on Grandview, and he employed a lot of Topanga's young men and Joanna, who ran the milling machine. She walked in one day. Joanna remembers walking in one day and finding everybody gathered around Lee Marvin, who was a friend of Ole's, and Ole made custom fishing lures for Lee Marvin. 1965, Ole and Karna divorced. Ole married a lovely local lady, Kathy Smith, moved to Entrada, and had a couple of sons. We've all felt that our roots in Topanga have helped to shape who we are today. Although most of the siblings moved on, I stayed, Joanna speaking, stayed for 64 years, enjoying the community and caring for my many friends here. My world fell apart when I lost my beloved husband, Paul Grimkowski, but her Topanga friends were there to hold her up. Paul was very much a beloved friend of mine. He was a neighbor, remembered for his contributions, volunteering with the Theatricum, Nature of Wild Works, Arson Watch, Topanga Trash Warriors, and more. When Ole died, the community house was standing room only as people filled it to pay honor to him, as Ole had also made an impact here. Joanna did finally move away due to her rather unfortunate life change, but her time in Topanga remains a cherished chapter, emblematic of the enduring charm and spirit of this unique community. Upper Fernwood, with its sweeping views, tranquil air, will always hold magical whispers of the past for her. Topanga leaves a mark on your heart and soul, and all of us Gunsts are grateful for that. Be well, Topanga. Joanna Gunst.
Is it Lexi? Oh, yeah, exactly. So we try to keep these to an hour, and we've got 30 more people to go through. So come on.
I'll make it quick. I'll do an interpretive dance and say I was born here. I was brought here as a wee child. I was 3 months old. My mom, Karen Woodward, an actress. My dad, a carpenter, and a bit of a partier, go Topanga. And then I went to Topanga Elementary School. Loved it, Topanga, homegrown. Then I went off to do other things. I did to Rocco was finishing school. And then after Rocco was finishing school, I got my degree at the Theatricum Botanicum and did that for many, many a year. And college and became an aerialist. I do a Mother's Day show now, last 26 years. And I just turned 50!
I expect everyone to do a dance now going forward. So Kira and Kevin, provisor, could brother and sister come up? Oh, okay. Okay, great.
Tyler Rollins.
Tyler Rollins.
Anyway, I was born here in 1983 in a trailer over on Old Canyon, the construction trailer, where I still live in the house that was being built back in those days by my father. My name is Tyler Rollins. If you've been here for more than a decade or so, you've probably run into one of the Rollins group, because he had a bunch of brothers and they all had kids, so I have a bunch of cousins. Back in the 50s, my grandparents moved here and my grandma ran the post office. I don't have too much more to say, just I've been here. This town has an amazing spirit. There's a community here that you don't find in a lot of other places. Everyone takes care of each other. And keep it up. Keep that spirit going.
Naomi, are you here? Schegloff. Eri Specht, you're going to speak after next.
Hi, Naomi Schegloff, daughter of Myra and Manny Schegloff. Mom was a hand weaver and was very involved at the beginning of Topanga Days. She actually coordinated the craft booths. And I was maid of the mountain one year. I sold the most tickets to Topanga Days. That's how you became maid of the mountain. And we were told we couldn't tell each other how many tickets we sold, and I listened, and we all did. So I was competing with Katie Regan. I knew she was my #1 competitor. And Jan Michael Vincent of Airwolf fame was the Grand Marshal that year, and I loved him. And so I had to win. And I partnered with, there was a different sassafras that was near the base of the school road, and I worked there in exchange for them selling tickets. I was going to meet Jan Michael Vincent. And when we had our square dance, and everybody was supposed to celebrate, and I wore a dress, and I was a tomboy, and I never wore a dress, but I was meeting Jan Michael Vincent, so I wore a dress. And he didn't come. And I was devastated, and everybody was like, you better take her home, to my parents. And so they took me home. Apparently, he showed up later, and he was so wasted, he couldn't stand. And years later, I wish him no ill, okay? But years later, he got in a car accident from drinking, and I felt like it was karma. Because he ditched me and broke my little heart. So that's the ungracious story of the Maid of the Mountain.
And John Stehelin, you're going to be after Eri. Do you want to speak? Come on.
Hi, my name's Eri Specht, and this is Rowan Marvin. He was born here too. He's a Topangian of the Moonfire Marvins. And I know. No comment. I was born at the Yorks property, actually. My parents were renting there while they were building our house. And I live on Colina, right across the street in the house my parents built still. And I don't have any fun, interesting things I did. I did win Best Dressed Chicken one year, I think 1985. For my chicken. I wasn't dressed as a chicken. So that's my only, Topanga kind of claim to fame. So that's it. Thanks.
John Stehelin's going to come up, and you could mention your brother and sister. I think all of you were born here. And Peter York, were you born here? How old were you when you came? Okay. Yeah, that's close enough. You should sign in and give him a pen.
Okay, darling.
Okay, you know that, right?
Yeah. We would have made pretty babies.
We would, one day.
Anyway, I'm John Stehelin. I was born in Topanga in 49. My father moved to Topanga in 46 and set up a furniture shop on Fernwood. I had 5 siblings, actually. I had a half-sister, Marquita, Germaine, and my brother Jake, Saber, and Shawn. And when I was 12 years old, anyway, the nice thing about Topanga was we had Camp Wildwood, and when I was 12 years old, Julia Stewart gave me a job for 40 cents an hour and made me get a Social Security card. And I raked the yard there for 3 years for her. She was quite a woman. And anyway, every summer they would go to Alaska, so she'd let me stay in the house for a month, which was warmer and nicer than living in a treehouse. Anyway, I'm going to say one more thing. We had a family up here named the Dares. And I remember Grandma Dare telling me a story about running a whorehouse in Chicago and turning away Al Capone because her kids were there. Anyway.
Brooks Walker, followed by Hannah Ware.
I'm Brooks Walker. I was born in '64. We started out at a little cabin on the bottom of Grandview. And then when I was 2 years old, moved all the way over to Sunken Trail, bottom of Fernwood. And then was raised there, went through Topanga Elementary School, junior high, dropped out of high school. Then, of course, became a high school teacher. After teaching at Topanga Elementary School, became a high school teacher. And then I went to high school. I was stuck there for 20 years, completed high school. Finally did it. Now retired. And now I have rental property here in Topanga, and I'm still here. I've left several times. I swore I was going to leave when I was young because it was getting too smoggy. And then I've been to a bunch of great places all over the world thinking I'd find someplace better. Never found any place better. And they started clearing up the smog here, so I came back.
Thank you, Hannah. And Hannah's going to be followed by you, Chantal. Yeah.
Well, I have my brother here. Come with me. We'll call Daniel up together.
Hi, my name is Hannah Weir, and I was born here in 1968. My parents came in 1954, and my dad was Earl Weir. He's founded the Topanga Association for a Scenic Community in 1963, and he was an organic architect and did a couple of pretty notable residences here in Topanga and elsewhere. 3 of them are on the historic registry now. They were unique houses, and I realized when I left and went to college that they had completely formed my entire existence, and I had to go into architecture. And so, because my relationship with the built environment and the outside world is quite different from most others in the outside world. And so I then also practiced with Eric Lloyd Wright, who was a Topanga native. I went to school with Corey Wright at Topanga Elementary School. So then I came back and worked for Eric for 20 years doing architecture. And now I have my own company with my husband here in Topanga. Design Integration Group. We do concept to commissioning, permit, all the coastal, red tape you could ever take. And that's what we do. Thank you very much. My house did burn down in the fire, so it did not escape everybody, which is a bummer, to say the least, but I'm not leaving. We did find a really lovely spot already back in Topanga, and so we have a 1-year lease, and we'll see what we can do on our land. We just cleared phase 2 yesterday, so we're kind of in trauma still, but getting better. Thanks very much for everybody coming today.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Hannah, and her husband is Kevin. And so, Daniel, come up with your sister. Where's Daniel? There he is. The Von Wetter family.
Here comes my brother. All right, Daniel and I were born and lived on North Creek Trail originally, and then we've been on Old Topanga under Big Rock ever since. I raised my boys over on Entrada, so I was over there for about 20 years, but got divorced happily and back on the family ranch.
Yeah, just the family compound. Most of you are familiar with it. We love it dearly and pour all our love into it, and it's it's wonderful. It's a good life here. We like.
No, we've been over on under Big Rock, and it's a really magical place. So it's definitely somewhere that our roots are real deep, and we're real blessed to be there. But all right, anything else? All right.
Jana and Tall Whalley. And after they speak, a guy named Jimmy Wiley, if he's here, if he'd speak.
Hello. So I was Tali Sperber, and I grew up here. And then this is my sister-in-law, Jana Whalley. So I'm Tali, Jana. I married Chris Whalley, who was 3 years older than me. And then she also has a brother, Aaron, and we're all in Topanga. My 2 brothers moved away. They're in the West LA area. And I think the most important memory I have is the video store. I worked there. I worked there. My brothers worked there. Her brother worked there. I probably saw a lot of you there. Like, I know your last names. I know your numbers. I can tell you what videos you want to watch. So, so that's my claim to fame.
Yeah, I was born on Paradise Lane in 1988 and grew up here. And then, what else did I want to share? Oh, we also now have a family compound. I can't really afford a place in Topanga, so I just rent one on Tali's property. And our other brother is moving back, so that's really awesome. And I work as an immigration attorney right now, so it's a tough time, but I appreciate this community and like the safe space we have up here and the activism that everyone does to support our fellow Los Angelinos. I think that's it.
Jimmy, work your way up here. Is Ali Acker? Somebody said she's here, but she hasn't signed in. So why don't you come up after this? What's your name again? Jimmy? Jimmy Wiley?
He's here. Call him up too.
Yeah, John.
Where? Did he run away?
I think he ran out.
John Wiley, come here. Don't leave your little brother here alone.
All right, well, fuck him. Where's Doug Hanson? Yeah, hey, I spoke to him yesterday. Yeah, I think I told you, Doug, I wasn't going to talk shit about you, but too bad. What Doug didn't tell you that his family, his uncles and all, used to build race cars and dragsters up there on that hill, which was at the beginning of all the dragsters that you see out there, funny cars and all that. They're at the beginning of all that. Anyway, so yeah, born in '64 into a family of local artifacts. Because obviously, you can't help where your family came from. It was right here. So, what else did you want to know? The dirt. Well, the dirt I know, because you guys know I'm always digging in your dirt. So since Dick Sherman's demise, nobody knows the dirt around here better than me. Yeah. I was just recently digging in Marsha Mouse's dirt. Yeah, it's full of artifacts over there. Anyway, I don't know what else to tell you. You all see me most of the time around here. I haven't gone anywhere. I sleep and eat in the valley, but I'm here 6 days a week, so I can't say that I don't live here. You know, it was a well-appreciated time growing up here for me. I had a really good quality of life growing up on horseback, long before we had fences and electric gates. My friends were on motorcycles, and I was on horseback. And I don't know what else to tell you, you know.
Where did you leave your wife?
My wife. Somebody saw my wife? Yeah. And then I met my wife, who I've known since she was probably 4 years old. Right here. Talk about dirt. That is old dirt. Yeah.
How was it to live in your little house with all the...
What's that?
How was it to live in your little house?
Oh, my little house.
When you were a
Yeah.
kid?
Yeah. So my mom and dad built a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house for 8 of us. His mom, dad, and 6 kids. Yeah, 6 kids in a 650 square foot log cabin that my dad built at a redwood railroad ties. He and Harold died. And Big John Stehelin could tell you, because when John came home from Vietnam, he moved in with us, probably about a year after he showed up. And that was interesting. We had this term called therapy at the table when Big John showed up. We learned a whole new language. It lives on. Any other questions? Yeah, exactly. We got to move on. Who's up next?
Allie. Allie's next, and she'll be followed by Brando and Devon Farr. And after you speak, you got to sign in, Allie.
So have her sign with her pen.
That's the whole point. That's why.
You get your pen for being born and stayed in Topanga all these years. Look, and because you're AA, you're first on the list. That's your pen.
Hi, everybody.
Use the microphone. There.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eri Acker. My father started coming to Topanga in the 1940s. And so when my parents were looking for a place, because of their politics, they didn't want to live in the West Valley with the rest of the farm family, because my father's family farmed all of what is now Winnetka. That was our family farm. And so they came to Topanga, and they had a group of friends that we grew up with. The wonderful thing was we grew up with a whole bunch of other families, and I think and many can relate to that. There was the Sheldon family and the Rice family, and let's start doing names. There's a lot of them. Yeah. So it was a community. And let's not forget the Francises. And and they had gone to UCLA together. So a lot of them, we had a UCLA connection with a lot of the families. And so after the flood of 1980, and disasters are a big part of, I think, all of us growing up here. And I always smile with these people whining in either whether it's Facebook or on Nextdoor about, oh my gosh, the road, and we have to wait. We waited a year for a road to open. That was just part of living here, and it's always going to be that part of living here. It's the topography, and it's what makes this wonderful. And it isn't for everybody, but for those of us who treasure it, it's home. And so many times I moved away, and I've lived
all over the place, all over the eastern United States, and like Brooks, kept trying to go somewhere else. I lived in Europe, and I've always come home because this is home. And then when I decided to have kids, I moved back. My then husband took, what are those protractors? And he said that Topanga was equidistant, and everybody who remembers him, between where I worked and he worked, and it was Topanga. So we moved back to Topanga, which my mom was really happy about, because the plan was for her to spend time with her grandkids that were not even born yet. And so obviously, like my parents, got very involved in community activities, especially for Auntie Pat and Uncle Jack McNeil. And I went to just a CPR class and ended up, that led to TSEP, which led to the Equine Response Team, which led to many other things, just because I showed up for one class, which happens in Topanga. You go with one idea and then something else happens, and whatever your skills are and whatever your talents are. So I always come home, and it's good to see all the wonderful faces and see everybody. In fact, Karen, I just talked to your sister in the last couple days at an event, which was, had never met her, and it was kind of wild. We had this connection. And then what do? I want to really meet that immigration attorney, because that's what I do. And I've been doing it for nearly 40 years, so put your hand up. I normally don't dress this way for Topanga events, but I was at the Federal Building all day today, so and we had a good day. So I would love to meet her wherever she is. So thank you, appreciate it. And horse is a big part of childhood disasters, mud, dirt. Dirt is, it just sort of part of us, either working in it, breathing it, whatever. It's who it defines us, and I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Brando, and Devon, and Lucas Johnson, you'll be next.
All right. This is my brother Brandon, or Brando, as most of you probably know him.
Closer. There you
go. Our parents met here in about mid-70s. Gary Farr.
Late 70s, early 80s.
And Irma Farr.
Gary Farr and Irma Farr. Yeah.
And Gary met the Von Wetters pretty soon after he moved here and from Britain. And he loved them so much. And you might have seen him in their amazing time capsule of a Topanga movie, Hollywood's Backyard.
And right. And Christine's late husband, Sasha, and Christine made that film together, showcasing many musicians and artists all over Topanga in the 70s and 80s, early 80s.
If you haven't seen it, you should.
And right, like exactly that film, for me, is very much Topanga, the Topanga I remember growing up with, filled with nature and artists and musicians and poets and writers and dancers and many people expressing what they love and who they love and telling their stories through whatever it is that somebody chooses to express themselves with. And that's very much how my sister and I grew up here as well.
Performing and
being involved with music and dance.
Belly dance, Melanie.
And nature and teaching and, from being in bands to then getting into studying mycology and plants and herbs and, life itself.
Yeah, beyond grateful that we got to grow up here. And I'm also grateful for this event, getting to put names to faces that I've heard my whole life and hearing all your stories. It's really beautiful. So thank you.
It's been an interesting night. Yeah, it's good to meet some of you that I feel like I've never had the privilege or the opportunity to meet until now. So yeah.
Topanga strong.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and after Lucas is going to be Erica Schlibs.
Hey guys, I'm a bit of an imposter here because actually I moved here when I'm 11, so I don't really have the right to speak, but that was my beautiful lady, Devon Farr, so by association. And since I'm here, I just want to say on the subject of dirt that this past couple years, or this year, we had massive landslides that basically rendered our property practically uninhabitable and threatened our home. And there's a number of people in this room who actually helped us and advised us on how to bring a lot of dirt and how to build a mountain back. So it's a great town. It's the only place where that would happen. Love you guys. Stay freaky.
And after Erica speaks, it's Jax Tatro.
Hello, everybody. I'm not used to this, but it's really warmed my heart to be here this evening and feeling really blessed and grateful that I was able to grow up here. I came here actually when I was 2 years old. It was 1953. And I'm wondering where Randy Just is. He didn't show up. Darn it. The Just Boys, those were our playmates. And we're still neighbors. Yeah. Him and his brothers were my playmates every weekend and after school. And when I was very young, I got a pony, and I really loved horses, and was very fortunate. It was in the 50s. I could ride on the boulevard, and there were hardly any cars. And I would go up and visit my best friend, Linda Mush, and you probably recognize the name from the Mush Trail. And she was my best friend. I still talk to her to this day, and I just love all those memories. And when I look at the, Topanga today and how I feel, and it's really interesting to see the different waves of people, and the people that stay and the people who've been here for a really long time, and even the new young people that show up at Topanga Living Cafe. But I just have to tell one funny story. There was an old lady named Althea who worked there, and Randy just had this old station wagon, and I don't know whose idea it was, but we used to go to Althea and get a dozen eggs, and then we would sit on the tailgate and start throwing them at the cars. And it's like, oh my God. The third time we went to get the third dozen of eggs, she was on to us and didn't sell them. So, and another memory I have with Randy is he helped me learn how to drive up on the mesa before there were any homes there. And he had a little stick shift, and I didn't know how to drive. And he was teaching, and I was driving, but finally I did something with the stick shift, and he said, boy, I've never seen anybody go from first to third. And so right now, I'm still here. I came when I was 2. I've kind of come in and out. I didn't know what the rules were for being on that list, but I know there's immigrants, and there's people who've been here for many, many decades, and I just feel like Karen was talking about, all those families were the friends of my parents too, the Dares, the Rices, and everybody else that you mentioned, the Gears and everybody, and it's such a beautiful, I don't know, it's just beautiful, and it's always beautiful to see all the young people. And I wish that Satya did not leave. There was a young lady here, Satya, and she was actually born in the house that I grew up in, and she left, I guess. But her and her brother, Jai and Satya, they have that Be Love shop in town, and they were both born in the house that I was raised in, because I'm living in another house back in the trees. But anyway, Satya, I'd like to honor her because her and her brother are just such beautiful people, and those are the young people that are going to carry on Topanga as we know it now, and they'll give us new memories. Thank you for everybody for being here.
After Jax will be Ramsey Potts.
I didn't know there was going to be public speaking. This will be quick. My name is Jax. That is enough to know that I was born here in 1976. If you don't know me, that's okay. I probably smoke pot with all of your children. Everything's good. Love Topanga. Will never leave Topanga, but I guess if I'm up here, just one thing to say is these walls have held celebration, funerals, so many beautiful memories in my life. So it's cool to be here tonight to remember our life here. But it is a tapestry, and I'm grateful to live in an area that is a multi-generational community. I love seeing my friends when I'm out running around. I love seeing their parents, and now their children are friends with my children. There's something incredibly beautiful about it, and it's why I stay. But being born here is easy. Staying here is hard. A lot of sacrifices go into making this community and staying here. So I just want to say, open your homes to the younger generation. Give them jobs, support them so that they can stay in this community as well. And if you guys, as you get older, need help, know that we're all here to support you and care for you as well. But that's all I have to say. We have to keep this beautiful tapestry strong. Okay, that's it.
Ramsey? Is Ramsey still here? How about, okay, then how about Azura and Daniel? They left? Okay. I think Scott's going to tell everybody when they come up here they should stay closer to the mic. Is that right? Okay. Julian Ritzbar. Julian Ritzbar. Julian Ritzbar. Okay, Shane Lerner. Mike Cheney. Oh. Mike's here, right?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, they're grabbing him? Okay, well, he works up here, Shawn Rhodes.
Waiting for this. What the hell you guys taking so long to do this? These old guys are falling asleep. Leo Shaw's ready to go to bed. John Stehelin has to drive home. Christ, I just live across the street. I'm tired, you guys. What the hell?
Make sure there's no fall. Hello, my name is Mike Cheney. I grew up on Cheney Drive. Oh my God, it's gonna be like 3 minutes. My family came here in, I believe, 1891, which makes me a fifth generation Topangan, which maybe that Jimmy guy in the back might be able to claim, but other than that, I don't think anybody else can. Childhood was pretty remarkable. I had this one next door, but had horses, had motorcycles, had four-wheelers, had a dune buggy, had everything I thought was normal until I went down to the valley, and I was like, how do these people live? Like where are their toys? And then my parents got divorced, my mom moved down to Calabasas, and I refused to go visit her for that exact reason.
And we had to eat everything Gary shot.
Yes, he had lots of guns. Lots of guns, lots of toys, and that was, pretty much the way it went. My family came here in 1891. They did a homestead, so they had the 160-acre homestead, which I believe if you do stay 5 years on the same property, I believe it's free, I think, or maybe you have to pay some small fee. But after that, then they acquired 40-acre parcels at a time until it totaled out to be 640 acres. So pretty much everything they could see, plus more. And that's all I got to say. Hi, John. If anybody would like to see any photos, I did bring some photos, and I would like to talk to somebody in the Historical Society about getting these to you guys as well. So if somebody can find me, I would like to show you what I got. Yeah, if you can transfer them over to like
Yeah, we'll do-
like
all right, so we'll get them back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went over to the historical society like a couple weeks ago, and it just said like temporarily closed. So I didn't know.
Yeah, we don't have normal hours right now, but I'll. What, Sean?
Is that me?
Yeah.
That's you.
All right, I'm a Rhodes. Fucking A, been here a long time. Yeah, Doug Hanson dragged my ass down here. Let's see. Oh my God. Born in the Snake Pit, 1960. Lived down there for 4 years. Moved to Topanga. My mom hated the street to come up the S corners that go Old Topanga. Bought a house on Old Topanga for like $64,000. Pretty cheap. We lived there. My dad's an electrician, so am I. Worked for John Stehelin. My first year hauling cement to do stucco. He loved me. And let's see. I'm 65, been here for a long time. I know a lot of you people, all you faces are good. The new people with the new Range Rovers and the Teslas, I don't really know who you are, but I'll figure you out because I have to hook up your fucking plug-in thing to your charger, you know, but you guys changing the world. But these faces here, Neil Shaw, these are my people. And hopefully I live and die with you guys because I don't know anybody else but you guys, you know. So yeah, been here for a long time. I've watched these kids grow up. I've watched them go from here to here. And I don't know, man, this place has changed a lot, but I still like it a lot. I saw a coyote this morning. I saw a deer this morning. I saw a skunk the other day. I shot a frickin' squirrel. Oh, the frickin' bears. We got bears. We got bears on Old Topanga, Hillside, Cheney. Those fuckers are in her backyard eating the food out of her chicken coop. So, yeah, I mean, you guys are all, to me, you're all normal. To the rest of the world, I don't know what we're going to do with these people coming in, but I love you guys. Yeah, I've been here for a long time. I'm old as dirt. I feel old as dirt. Body hurts like dirt, but hey, Doug, thank you, buddy. I've got pictures, I've got stories. I grew up, like I said, on Topanga Beach. I was born and raised there. Born and raised in Topanga, and now I'm on Cheney with this one here. But thanks, Doug, for dragging my ass here. Appreciate it.
So I think I heard Satya has left. Is that right?
Sancho?
How about Pearl Parkhurst? Pearl? Horst, are you here? After Horst is going to be Gary Jensen.
No. Get that asshole up here. I remember this asshole too when I was a little kid. He used to kick me off his property.
Yeah, I'm Horst Spiess. My parents started to build a house up here in Topanga on Skyline Drive in 1938. And I come along about 1940 and been up there ever since. We owned a big parcel there on Skyline, and I just cut it in half. I don't need all that property to take care of anymore. So I got my own little place that's up on the hill. We had a rental there. Fixed that up, and that's where I'm going to stay. It's a great place to grow up. I had a good time when I was younger. Worked for George Ortez down at the Chevron station. Chet Preston, I drove truck for him at the Builder Supply. Worked for Gina Topanga and cut weeds. And about 1960, I got my first backhoe. And I had the first backhoe up here in Topanga or Malibu and everything. Worked on all the major water along PCH. Came up the canyon with the 12-inch And that's just went on with my life. But it was a good place to live, great place to live, great place to grow up. We had a good time when we were growing up here. There were, a lot of dirt roads at that time, and not like it is now. But that's about it.
I've been told Satya's back here. And then Gary Jensen, did you disappear? Satya, come on. This is your moment of fame. Yeah. Just say your name of your parents and where you were born.
Hello, everyone. My name is Satya. My parents are Kyle and Camji Finch. They own Be Love in the Center. I was born in Topanga, still live in the house that I was born in. Had a little kiddie pool in the living room. It's where my mother birthed me. My brother Jai was born in the bathtub. But, I love it here. 18 years, going strong. We'll see. Yeah.
My name is Pearl Parkhurst. I'm the daughter of Kevin Parkhurst and Hannah Weir. Hannah Weir was born and raised here, and I was born and raised here. And I plan to stay here for the rest of my life and build a house here on our property that, fortunately, our house burned down on, and raise my kids there. And yeah, Topanga is a very special place, and I'm very, very, very grateful. And I hope everyone is grateful to be here. So, thank you.
If you sign this list, John, and you were born, I can't make out your last name. It starts with a W. It's not Wiley.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh, it was? Okay.
That is Wiley. He was here.
He spoke.
He left. Gary Jensen.
Catherine Campbell, do you want to speak? And Larry, you're going to be after Catherine.
I'm Catherine Campbell. I wasn't born here. I'm an immigrant. Came here when I was a child, really, really young. My mother was Barbara Campbell. I grew up next to the Penners, who are not here. I've been here probably now almost 60 years, off and on, so that's pretty long. What? Oh, that's up. I don't mind my age. My birthday's tomorrow, so it's all good. Thank you. And I did steal that from you, Matt, the immigrant part. What else? Growing up next to the Penners, my first naked man to see was John Penner. Any of you know that? He used to walk around. My house was up here. His house was down there. And I'm like, ew. I didn't make me not like men, but oh my God, it was horrible. I love being here. I'm an RN and a real estate agent. Devon knows my mom. She is amazing and wonderful and helped take care of her. I grew up with Jimmy Wiley, Serena Andrews over there. Please, Serena, come up and tell everybody you know about Topanga. If anybody knows something about Topanga, it's her. Yeah, she's got it. I grew up with Brooks. I grew up with a lot of guys. I had 5 brothers in Topanga. I lost one brother on Old Topanga Canyon in a car accident in 1983 and lost another brother who died in Mexico in 2015. I still have 3 wonderful brothers left. So they were Patrick, Michael, Brian, and Danny, and Shawn. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Larry? Larry, would you come up and say one or two words? Yeah. And Serena, if you want to come up after Larry.
My name is Larry Anderson. I was not born here. I lived somewhere else for 3 years. It's a little burg on the Ridge Route, which was the main artery north, which is now I-5, but at the Ridge Route, Sandburg was where I spent the first 3 years of my life. My father was Harvey Anderson. He was promoted to captain of the fire station here in Topanga, so the family moved to Topanga. And where am I going? Anyway, I went to grammar school at the school which is now Froggy's Restaurant, you might know. First through 8th grade, part of the schooling was under the Topanga School District, and then later the Topanga School District sold out to the Los Angeles Unified School District. And I graduated and went to Canoga Park High School. In the early days, families raised goats. Anybody in the audience raise goats? Goats. But that was part of the economics in those days. We made do and got by with less affluence, I would say. But I spent 82 years living in Topanga. I'm now approaching 90 years old and hope to die in Topanga.
Okay, I wasn't planning, oh, that's weird. Wasn't planning on getting up here and talking. Serena Andrews Wiley now. I am an immigrant, just like a lot of you. I was just under 3 when we moved here. I have 5 older brothers. I met my husband, Jimmy Wiley, at Topanga Elementary School, and we got married in here in 1993. And he still keeps showing up. I don't have any great stories. I mean, I have a ton of great stories, but I don't have any great stories that I remember. So there's that. I don't know. Thank you, Brando. I appreciate that. I do want to say that Jimmy, his family. Okay, was he? Okay, so no, I just wanted to say that the house that Jimmy's mom, the 650 square foot house that they grew up in, essentially, that his dad built, his mom lived until the day she passed away this year in February. And Jimmy was the 4th generation of that family to live on that land. And my son and daughter were born when we lived there on that land, and they were the 5th generation. It's a lot. His brother, our nephew Jamie, lives on the property now and has a child there, so it's the 6th generation of Wileys that are living on that property. So we all go way back, and Topanga's an exceptional place in many ways. It was a gift to be raised here, and a curse in some ways, I suppose. But it was a gift, and anybody that has the opportunity to continue to live here, it's an amazing thing, and I will forever be grateful that my parents landed here. So that's all.
Did I miss anybody? Did anybody come here tonight that...
I didn't make the list, sorry. Being an alumni of Topanga Elementary, I just never even learned how to spell my name. So, I grew up here, born here, spawned in the headwaters up there by Glenview, and ran away from the canyon. Now I live in Moab, Utah. So, but I'm just back visiting the family property and getting things done, and it looks like I might be back to be a full-time Topangan very soon. So, thank you, everyone. My name is Hugh Glass.
Great, thank you. Okay, one more.
So Megan Rice has texted me 3 times this evening. She said to tell everyone that she's still alive and that she's coming back to Topanga. She said 1951, she lived 2224 Vesey Road. That's off of Skyline. And I said, what do you want me to tell people? She says, milked goats rode donkey. So I heard the Rice family mentioned a lot, but Megan, as you know, was medevaced during the fires to Anthea in Colorado. And she said to tell everyone that she loves Topanga. She is coming back. She's only on vacation.
So I think that's it for tonight. Nobody else? Is that right? Thank you for all coming. It's a great event. Thank you very much.
I did sound for a couple of months. She was driving.